welcome back to Greatest Guardians Gaming Network. My name is M, and I am the GM Game Master for this Pathfinder 2nd Edition stream, and we're super happy to have you here. What's going on? What's...
I don't know. There
I
were
don't know.
hand stuff going on, and I felt left out. Also, your audio's coming in nice and crisp.
Cool. You're going to hear it again when
Like
my
hot
phone
potatoes.
goes off. But welcome, everybody. I hope you're doing wonderfully. Looks like we've got a few viewers in here. I hope you're having a wonderful night. So we've been doing a lot of video game streams the past few days, past week or so. We are switching it back to our roots and going into tabletop gaming for tonight. Normally we have our Monday game. This is our Monday game. However, we are pushing it to today because of a schedule conflict, and we're going to make sure that it happens today, and then we're going to move on to next week back to Monday. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves for any potential new viewers and anybody who needs a refresher. So if you could tell me your name, your pronouns, your character's name, and pronouns, and then character class, if you want to divulge that. I feel like it's relatively clear at this point, kind of what classes people are, for the most part. Maybe not for everybody, actually. But tell us your class, and then also question of the day for your character. I feel like we should do something fun, like if your character could be an animal, what would they be? Okay.
Going with me first?
If you want.
Michael
No. I
volunteered that. It's like, okay,
Well, you know, but
go ahead. You
Make
can
up
do
the
it.
order.
I feel like no. The reason why is like I feel like Shaija would be a badger. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good take. I mean, it came from you, the character player, but yeah.
it's canon.
Do you want to start us off, Mike?
Yeah, I am Mike. He, him, and I play Shaija Contour, summoner, herbalist, and she, her, and her devout phantom, him. And yes, if she was a animal, she would be a badger.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's go to Michaela next.
Hello, I am Michaela, she, her, and I play Sogafa, also she, her. She is a sorceress and also a dampier. If she had to be an animal, I think that she would just be like a really good dog because she wants to make friends everywhere she goes and tries not to make too many waves.
Thank you. Let's go over to Dawn.
Hi, I'm Don, pronouns he, him. Tonight I'll be playing Craig Fogcrusher, pronouns also he, him. He is a kobold swashbuckler, deckhand, so some skill with boat stuff. I'm trying to think of an animal that Craig would be that wouldn't be a brine dragon, which is his ancestry. I think he's got... Oh, cool, art. I think with his sword skills, maybe a viper. Lashing out.
Could you say that again? I'm sorry.
A viper.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But, yeah.
So if you see on stream, I just put up character artwork done by Aaron, who is kind of our unofficial artist here on the network. Jenna is also kind of an unofficial artist on the network because she drew her own character. And I'm going to show the artwork for Shaija and Sagafa as well, just so that we see kind of who they are. But this is Krieg Fogcrusher, who is our kobold swashbuckler, played by Dawn. Then we have... we have Shaija Contour, who is played by Mike, and Shija's Phantom Hem, also played by Mike. Then we also have Sagafa, played by Michaela. And then, would you mind going next, Jenna?
Jenna, she, her. I play Li Shija. She, her. Fate Witch, half elf, noble born. If she was an animal, I think she'd be some kind of colorful mean bird.
Not a lioness.
Nah. I also just love birds, so I can't think of anything besides birds.
Thank you.
Gwen.
Let's go to Gwen.
Hi. I'm Gwen, she, her, and I play the 5'10" human fighter, Hannah Lyer, and she's a bit of a dumbass. Like, I mean that in every sense where she's dumb, she's a bit of an ass, and she's got no wisdom. And if you asked her what animal she would be, I think she would say a boat.
What kind of boat?
Oh, yeah.
If people brought up the fact that it's probably not an animal, she'd just go like a duck boat, you know, like one of those pond duck boats.
Oh my god! I actually love those boats. I want to sit in one so freaking bad.
The little
It's a
pedal
bird.
boats with a... Oh my god, can you imagine a medieval fantasy version of a duck boat, like, made of wood with, like, the little pedals that have, like, these oars that come out of the side?
That'd be an attraction. That's like Disneyland level shit back in the day.
I need it.
I feel like it wouldn't be the most far-fetched thing for something like that to have existed in the real world. Maybe it is. I don't know. We'll see.
Someone Google it for us.
We should find
Let us
out.
know.
Pedal boat.
Old paddle boat. That's just gonna be like a defunct paddle boat. It's from like the early 2000s or something.
I said old-fashioned. Old-fashioned pedal. Oh boy.
Did you just say the early 2000s was old?
I did not.
No, Shannon did.
Did.
Drama.
Oh,
I mean, it's over 10 years. 15?
It's 20 years ago.
Mm.
No! The 70s was 50 years ago.
stop saying things.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Sometimes-
introduce myself as well. My name is
Oh,
Em.
yeah.
I am the GM. I use she/her pronouns. I am playing, as well as all of the NPCs in the game, and enemies as well. I am playing kind of a played character, piloted by me, still as the GM, named Remy. Remy uses he/him pronouns. He is an 11-year-old witch. And he has a little dragon with mushrooms sprouting out of the back of his back, who follows him around everywhere, floating around like a little spore on the wind. And his name is Eska. So that's where we're at with...
Throw art up
Oh.
with those two?
I should, yes. And also, I should mention that So there's Remy. And here's Eska. I should mention that something, and I forgot it. So it'll come
no.
to me a little later.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That is our intro. We
Are you sure?
Remy's
No.
familiar?
It's not. I did want to say, before we get going, this is Gwen's last session with us officially in the group. It is sad to see you go. I am excited that you'll still be with the network playing Starfinder with us. Also, though, I mean, it's been wonderful to have you here, and we're gonna miss you. This has been a wonderful 14 episodes, soon to be 15 episodes with you in it. And so thank you so much for being here. And we're going to have a good session. Yeah, but that's where we're at with I guess starting session. I think we should just jump in if that's okay. But yes, we will miss you, Gwen. And Hannah will be on a parallel journey to the heroes. So if at any point you need to jump back in for a guest appearance, please do. Yeah.
Save us.
Yes.
As long as I survive the session.
Sounds good.
That's our
This is-
send off.
this
We
is-
absolutely
Boom.
demolish her.
This is the session Hannah leads us into a TPK, and we're all out of a
And
show.
we're all done.
Wow.
Tales of the Witch Boys, no more. With that, though, we are in the continent of Saga Gesa. And just to zoom out so that our viewers can see what this is a homebrew planet of Galesrian, which is my homebrew world. We have a homebrew continent here that our characters are traveling through. They are currently near the city of Ikalofia. They began near the city of Baikisi in a small village called Bungai, and they have traveled upriver into the Kinderon Mountains, worked their way down the Kinderon Mountains, or through and then back down the Kinderon Mountains, into a small village on the fringe of society. And this village doesn't have a name, it doesn't have any major defining characteristics that makes it notable for travelers. It seems to be just a fishing village. Yet our heroes also found recently that somewhat of a war hero / war disgrace, depending on what you know about him, is hiding nearby. And you were recently introduced to him last session. I want to show you what he looks like. This is Sir Gandry. He is a hyena person, a gnoll, bipedal, and he has a sword that is strapped into his back, as well as a bow with some arrows that are also... Actually, the sword would be kind of on his belt, and the bow and arrow would be strapped to his back. And he looks older. He seems kind of like a salty sailor, almost. He's seen some stuff. He's been around, he has been involved in many a battle, he has scars all over his body, and he seems also like a kind old man. Not terribly old, but he's middle-aged, and he has invited you into this village against the cliffside, or a random cliffside in the jungle. And I want to take you there. He brought you here.
Could we get our tokens on there so we can see it?
Yes. You arrived here with your group of friends and with Chloe. Let's see. And Sir Gandry met you outside of this tent. He introduced himself and walked you over. I'm going to go ahead and take Remy's token. Go ahead and follow Remy for me. He walked you over into these bushes. I'm going to move Sagafa. Hang on a sec. And there's a cave entrance. He brought you into this cave. You walked a ways. You found that there's somewhat of a community here. And it seems as if it's around 30 to 50 people who are just living out their life here against this cliffside. I'm also going to open up another scene. Get ready for a bad pun.
Favorite. Nice.
Oh
such a
no. No, I hate it.
Can you explain it to me? I don't get it.
It-
Well,
It's called the Cave Inn.
I got it.
thanks.
No, I need it again. Hit me again.
And he walked you inside, deep into the cave. You sat down at a table, spoke with him for a bit, and shared your story. And after speaking with you, Sir Gandry mentioned that he also had something to share. You are muted, Jenna, or at least I didn't hear that.
Is this the part where he ambushes us?
Oh gosh.
Roll for initiative. No, you're good. He says he has something that he would like to share as well. Please join me around this table, if you wouldn't mind.
Can I get a vibe check?
Yeah, give me a perception check to sense his motive.
10.
10.
Absolutely average vibes.
I don't think you've got a vibe. Does anybody else want to sense motive on him with a perception check?
I do.
Yeah,
I rolled
I
a
would like to
22.
do that.
Cool. Welcome, viewers. I hope you're doing great.
Immaculate vibes, sir.
Yes.
16 for me.
All right. So, did anybody reach a 14 or higher?
Anna.
All right.
Yep.
If you got a 14 or higher on this, he is genuine. He seems like he has good intentions. He just wants to talk, as far as you can tell. And he invites you over to this table. You sit down and he begins explaining that recently the people that he spends time with in this little village have noticed these rangers who are hunting Remy. Now, he doesn't explain anything about Remy. He doesn't seem to know anything about their reasons for hunting anybody or being present in the wilderness here. But he has noticed their presence in Sagagesa, and it seems that they are attempting to spread throughout Sagagesa, looking for something, trying to get as much of a foothold here as they can. He's noticed that in the southern area, you're kind of approaching central Sagagesa, but you're still in southern Sagagesa, and just about where you're at, these wilders, these rangers, have been checking in with someone through messages relayed by hawks. Frequently, they will send a hawk off somewhere else, attached with a letter. And then a hawk will come back to them, attached with another letter. And though they have not been able to intercept any of these letters, it seems as if they are communicating with someone else and keeping them updated on their whatever it is that they are doing.
You know, Sir Gandry, Hannah's going to interrupt when she hears this. It's easier to intercept the hawk than the letter because the letters are tied to the hawk. So if you went for the hawks, maybe you'd have a better chance with it.
He gives out a hearty laugh. You are a smart one. Yes, I agree with you. Unfortunately, we've not been able to intercept any of these hawks. My people are relatively peaceful now. We have a life here. We don't wish to get involved with much else, but it seems that these rangers are trying to involve themselves here in Sagagesa. I have spoken with some who are from Sagagesa, particularly one woman who I have developed a friendship with. in the past 5 years. She has some concerning insights that I feel might be relevant to share, if in fact you are as well interested in these rangers. I'm assuming you are, yes?
Certainly, any information you have, we'd be more than happy to hear.
Would you prefer to speak with the woman that I have developed
Yeah.
this friendship with?
She's here.
In the center of the room, you see there is a body of water in the floor. And he said, "Oh yes, yes, she spends time here." And he walks over to the body of water. He bends down, and he takes a flare out of his belt. Looks to be something that's like powered with some sort of magical fire, and it glows a green light, and he drops it into the water, and it sinks down. Is anybody doing anything at this moment?
Do I check if the light goes out?
I'm gonna
Lights?
go up and look into the pool.
Yeah,
Okay.
Krig's gonna look over as well.
Okay. Lucigia, it seems the light stays on. It seems to illuminate this, what appears to be a tunnel that goes deep down, or a well of some sort. It goes deep down into this hole in the center of the cave. Give me a perception check on this cave, or like a survival check, or society, something like that. Something that can give you information about what's happening here. I think nature would also work quite well.
I'd love a society check on whatever the heck is happening here. 21.
21.
11.
Oh no, I got 24. Nice.
Hell yeah. I was like, really? Where'd the -3 come from?
If you have a 15 or higher on your check, then I think you would notice that this is not a man-made hole in the ground. However, it seems that people have attempted to make some sort of make it look more in place within this little structure that they've built inside of the cave. So you would think that this is a natural tunnel in the ground where water just comes through, and this would have at some point been a large pool. And the water seems to have receded, so there's only a hole in the ground with water that goes into a tunnel. However, people have made it look nicer, more aesthetic. A few moments pass, and a merfolk appears from you see her head just kind of... I don't know if you've seen pictures of swimmers when they haven't broken the surface tension of the water yet, but it's kind of like this slow motion image of this person just slowly rising out of the water. And you would notice that she's a vibrant blue color. She has beautiful fins across her all along her head. She has some... Let me give you an image of her, actually. Let's put this up on stream. She has very sharp features, these ears that are fins as well. She has beautiful, long... It seems to be coarse-looking hair, and it's a greenish-blue turquoise color. And she has these hard... what's the right word? Like, almost exoskeleton-looking things across her forearms and on her hips. And she is holding an orb of some sort. As she pops out of the water, she looks at Sir Gandry and says, "Gandry, my friend, how are you?"
How common is it to see a merfolk in this world?
Pretty rare. Give me a society check. Anybody? You could give me, whatever. I think society is.
Society,
Society's like.
Oh no! Okay, I've never met a merperson. This is the first time I've seen one.
So really, really quick though, society would tell you like worldwide. How common is it? Nature, you might be able to say like, okay, in these parts of the world, they're more common than not.
Lore sailing?
I think that would definitely be
That makes
applicable.
sense.
Yeah.
16. Oh,
Krieg, what was your lore, or it was lore sailing was yours?
yep, 16.
Okay. Everybody remember the skill that you just rolled and also remember the number. Krieg, I think you have heard of merfolk in Sleesift. I don't think you've ever seen one. You've heard of them in Saga Gesa. And you've heard of them in... Just a moment while I... Oh, I mean, and you've heard of them deep in the waters of the oceans. You don't really expect to see them many other places. And even when you do see them, it is quite rare. Most of their society is built deep, deep, deep down in the water, or with river mermaids. And you would think that maybe this is a river mermaid. They find little alcoves along rivers, and they bore tunnels into caves or into the rock underneath the rock in the river to try and create their own community. So it's quite rare to really see one out in the open. What other skills did we roll?
I got a lore sailing of 8, but I'm gonna look at Sir Gandry and just be like, you didn't mention that this pool summons beautiful women. Hi, my name's Ian. It's a pleasure to meet you.
He gives another hearty laugh. Oh, I like you. You are a fun person. Hannah, please
I'm
meet Fumaji Nyota.
Fumaji Nyota.
What other skills do people roll? Sagafa?
I rolled a nat 1 nature check, which becomes a 3.
A 3?
So that fits. I lived a sheltered life.
Nothing like this in Elea. What about Lishijia?
I rolled a nat 1 with like a total of 9. And I think what happened with me was, in line with the brutal history of my nation, mermaids were eliminated, and I thought they were a myth.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think in Yotris, that would make sense. Like, the human kingdoms took over that continent, except for the, I can't remember the name that I came up with, but the wilds on the
Yanasi?
western side. The what?
Yanasi?
Maybe.
Hmm.
Okay. But there's a portion of kind of untouched wilderness on the western side of Yotris. And that was not taken over, but everything else, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What about Shaija?
Brace. So she's also, very sheltered, socially awkward. Probably she's gawking at this beautiful mermaid, and like you see her like looking, trying to get past Hannah.
Yeah.
No, that is not happening. I range down my hand, and I'm just like, oh, beautiful siren of this pool, I would gladly die by your hands.
Well, my goodness, you are adorable. What is your name?
I'm Hannah, but you can call me anything you like.
Hannah, it is a pleasure to meet you. Everyone,
Mhm.
hello. My name is Fumaji Nyota. It's Star Weaver in the common tongue. Gandry, what did you need? And Gandry looks at her and says, Fumaji Nyota, we are discussing the visions that you have had of recent. Oh, yes, yes, come, please, gather round, if you wouldn't mind. And she beckons all of you to come around the pool and kind of sit, pull up a chair, stand around the edge of the pool. Remy follows as well.
Oh,
So
I just thought you were swimming. Oh, wow, look at that.
Oh,
You're
yes.
lovely.
And she
You've got
brings
skills.
her tail out of the water, and it kind of like does one of these things and then goes back in and kind of supports her up. Yeah, it's very cool. You've never seen anything like this before.
Li Shijia, conditioned the way she was, tries to be polite and keep like a stone face, but inside she's kind of disgusted seeing the tail move around.
Wow.
also, Hannah remembered after the shock of such a beautiful woman appearing out of the water that she's extremely hydrophobic. So she begins to back up a little and appreciate from a distance.
Craig sits down and puts his little feetsies in the water. He just kind of kicks them.
Oh, welcome. Yes, please. Take a seat. I believe I have seen your faces before in my dreams.
I would have remembered if I saw your face in the dream.
You flatter me. You come from all over the world, do you not? You, she points at Shaija, the herbalist who wishes to become more than a mother, whose soul is split in two. Is this you?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. And she pulls out this orb. My orb tells me secrets about important things and important people. You. She points at Lishijia. The
Straining
witch.
smile.
The witch.
Yes.
Who is guided by the urge to take control of her own fate, rather than let her fate be decided for her.
You
Am
are
I
knowledgeable, madam.
correct? Yes, I am correct. It is wonderful to meet you. You, and she points at Sagafa. The sweet daughter who misses her mother, whose warmth will bloom to protect the young one. And she gives Remy a glance. At you, and she points at Krieg. The sailor, proud of his line, who does not fully understand the depth of his descendants.
Is that a pun?
Okay. I'm pretty sure my parents. We passed it down. I have a pretty good idea about my ancestry. There were some gaps, there were some wars, libraries were lost, but like.
A dragon, yes.
Yep.
Which dragon? Do you know?
Well, translation, lost time. My player's bad at taking notes. Pretty
Fourth
sure,
wall.
Pretty sure I could find out. Do you know? I have an orb too. Is it the same as mine?
I will let you find out on your own. You, and she points at Hannah. The fighter from the north, who has not yet breached the surface of the waves that still hold her down. Metaphorically, of course.
No, fine.
Yes, I have seen all of you. Particularly, however, you, young boy, I have seen your face, clear as day. Young, with more potential for changing the world than anyone in Sagageza. You are a witch, the fairest of his kind. Stay young, my child, for you have a great responsibility to hold in a much larger conspiracy than you understand.
Lee Shijia cuts in. Good. Now that we've established that, where's Remy? How close is he to me?
Right next to you.
I step closer to him, just in case, and I say, now that we've had this established, is there any way you could help us? We would like to keep this fact under wraps, considering there could be a betrayer in your midst. I would hate to judge, but we have a bit of a
situation.
thank you.
Protective as any good mentor should be, you will make a fine teacher for the boy.
And you're very nosy for a person who hasn't told us anything of importance.
I have been told this before.
At least she's just so uncomfortable right now.
Very well, you seek answers. Bethar approaches. Give me society, religion. You're trying to know what Bethar is.
A 19.
17.
14.
I don't. There's so many dice. I don't know.
Got a 9, Nishija.
Oh no, not again. Wait, no, that was for something else.
Nope.
No, you
No.
rolled
15
a
seconds ago.
11
Oh, I
seconds
rolled it
ago.
twice. Son
Yeah.
of a gun.
Yeah.
Pulling up my notes here. If you are in chat and you're hanging out watching us, I would love for you to tell us what are some of your favorite moments from tonight so far.
I can't believe I rolled the one twice. Why is this happening?
Because you're being racist against the merfolk.
That's true. I'm being super racist against the merfolk right now.
You deserve it.
I know it's my patient coming back to punish me.
And it's society, like the thing, like Lashija's biggest claim
So
to
good at.
fame, it's being of higher society.
You know, to be fair, if she was better at society, she probably wouldn't have been kicked out, so...
Drama!
Putting
Okay.
all of this out there right before you go. Come on, let's go. Hit me.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
She's just salty she'd never get with her. It's
Okay, to be fair,
Wow.
Lashika was, like, here, and I'm, like...
no, you're higher than that. Up a
You're
little
right.
bit.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
I would love to know what. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. I would love to know what deities do all of you worship, if any.
Egan.
Do you want to tell us a bit about Egan?
I'm gonna tell you as much as Hannah knows.
Okay.
He was the god that her parents raised her with. She didn't get to go to church because she had to work, while the siblings who actually had potential, as they said, got to go to church. So she knows that she follows him, but only because she's been told that her entire life.
May I share a little bit of information about Egan for listeners and all of you? Egan is the minor god of hope, neutral good. Believed to be an air elemental who lives in the eye of a storm that regularly circulates across the globe. What about Shaija? Who does Shaija worship?
Ketis. Or, yeah, I don't know if I've been
Cateus.
pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah,
Cateus, that's it. Cateus.
Cateus. Let's gonna find this really quick. Is. Do you want to tell us what you know about Cateus?
I'll let you do it, but a lot of him has a lot of the symbology for Cateus. The weapon is of Cateus. There's also, I believe, a flag or something that hangs down from it. Sailor, undead, and then I'll let you do the actual lore.
The minor god of discovery, chaotic neutral or true
So
neutral.
cute.
Believed to be an incorporeal undead human sailor whose ghost ship traverses the open seas and leads explorers toward new discoveries.
That's so cute.
What about Lishigia? Who does she worship?
Li Shijia worships and is communing with, as a witch, Keksun, a minor god of justice, symbolized, who's seen as like a really well-dressed man, but half of his body is a skeleton. Li Shijia wears the symbology by having her clothes divided in half in color.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, and the minor god of justice, lawful good, believed to be a tall, impeccably dressed undead man with full skin and musculature on one half of his body, but only skeletal remains on the other half. Thank you. What about Sagafa? Who does Sagafa worship?
Sagafa primarily focuses her loving energies on the minor goddess Drozdia. She is like a light pink kitten who's missing one of her front legs. She's all about perseverance. However, her mother definitely, because of her heritage, instilled a healthy respect for the god of death, who I believe is Entar.
That is correct. So Drosdia, as you said, the minor goddess of perseverance, lawful good or neutral good. She's believed to be a kitten who is with light pink fur, who is missing her front legs. She wears a thin golden rope around her neck. And Entar, who is the god of spirit and death, known to be a true neutral crypt dragon. Then, what about...
I have something that's going to completely derail this, but
That's
Drozdia
okay.
reminds me of that little kitten poster where it's just hanging there.
Yeah. The one that was so popular.
I don't know if anybody watched Digimon growing up, but Drozdia was modeled after Gatomon's smaller form,
Baby.
Solomon. Okay. Anyway, Craig, who does Craig worship?
He kind of worships two
cats.
deities. His familial family deity is Waitia, the goddess of water and growth, who is known to be a lawful neutral brine dragon, which is part of Craig's ancestry, but Craig doesn't really ascribe to the family rumor that we are descended from Waitia personally, but yeah. But in his travels, he has adopted the deity Adios. Not
Okay.
Adios, I almost said it that way. Adios, the minor god of sharing, who is lawful neutral, believed to be a cheerful skeletal old man who lives in a cottage nestled in a demiplane on the continent of Liavrata,
Yes.
which is very vague.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's a spooky, scary skeleton.
Who doesn't send shivers down your spine?
No, he's a cheerful skeleton man.
But yeah, Waitia, goddess of water and growth, lawful neutral brine dragon, and Adios. Thank you.
H2.
Minor god of sharing, lawful neutral, cheerful skeletal old man. Yep, you got it. Thank you. Okay, so what were those roles? Religion, society, what did you all jump into? Roll for?
1 society.
Okay.
17 society.
14 religion.
19 religion.
I just clueless.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Well, if you have higher than a 10 total in religion or in society, you are aware that Bethar is the god of darkness, despair, hatred, confusion, deception, nightmares, discord, fear, and he is believed to be a dark, swirling cloud that can appear at any time in any place on the planet without any notice. And Fumaji Nyota says, Bethar approaches. Knowingly or not, these wilders, rangers, they are connected. Just as I only receive glimpses of who you are and who you will be, I only see tiny images that tie them to something truly dangerous. Bithar's darkness approaches, and somehow these rangers are his pawns.
I was under the impression that the Wilders were just kind of skilled fighter guys who were hired usually by the Elven Kingdoms of Elia, but
I just thought they were assholes.
I mean they are. But the elves are too. Like that's no surprise. I just like, did they get a promotion or what's going on there? Did your little orb thing tell you anything about that?
I could not tell you. I am not certain as to who they are and what their motives are, but I can tell you that in a grander scheme, larger than many of us, any of us, know right now, they are Bethar's pawns.
Why isn't anyone doing anything about this?
Well, young Hannah, if I were to tell you that you are the pawn of a dark lord who has not been seen in centuries, would you believe me?
I mean, like, are you asking me personally or in general? Because I honestly would believe anything that comes out of your mouth right now. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted.
My point is that my warnings and the warnings of other oracles may not be taken seriously, given how outlandish some of that may seem. But I think you believe me, because I think you, and she looks at Remy, have ties to the All-Mother. And Remy just kind of blushes, scratches his head, and says, I mean, yeah, she's my patron. I mean, that's kind of, you know, that's where I get my magic. And he snaps his fingers, and like a little spark of flame comes out.
Like, try and push his hand down a little bit. It's like, we all know who you are. There's no need to prove yourself here at this moment.
yeah, that's not even your thing, so don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
You did all
Yeah.
right.
Fine.
I thought it was great,
You're
man.
fine.
Like, I can't do any of that.
Thanks,
My
Hannah.
claws don't. My claws. I could make sparks almost.
Yeah, but your teeth are so cool, dude.
They are. They are.
Anyway, and then as he says anyway, a familiar face walks in to the cave. Hey, everybody. And you see Lulua Ina in the cave with you. young witch from Bungai, the Southern Coven, who is on a similar journey as you, except she is trying to find answers in a different way. You may remember that when she left Bungai, she was in a cloak. She was in she had transitioned from the celebratory, beautiful, flowery clothing, from a flowery dress into a very serious travel garb with a hood and a cloak, and she has an albatross that follows her around. That is uh, her familiar, and she's from the coast, and she was there at the Southern Coven with you, and she has been traveling to try and find answers about what these rangers are doing. And she steps in and says, I only heard a bit of that, but it's good to see you again. May I join you, please?
Yes, please. I have a chair. I have a chair right here. Hi. I'm not sure if you remember me. I'm Hannah, and you are still the most beautiful woman I have ever met.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. Truthfully, I'm glad to see you all again. Do you mind if I join you?
Sure.
Should you, if you say anything right now and turn this down, I will throw you into that pool.
By all
Miss
means.
Fumajimiota,
Yes.
you mentioned within your dreams you noticed that there was information you could tell us regarding the Rangers finding Remy. Could you tell us why they're looking for him, what they are looking to do to him? While I ask this, I want to get a vibe check on Luluaina.
Okay. Give me a perception check against her will DC. And Fumaji Nyota replies, just as I have seen in the stars with all of your faces, I have only seen glimpses of these wilders, as you call them. These rangers are actively searching for the boy, it seems. Is this what you are telling me?
Won't confirm or deny anything, but they're certainly on our tail.
Understood. It seems that they are searching for him as a pawn to a greater conspiracy. They may or may not know why they are searching for the boy or searching for you, but they have been hired by someone. And she looks at her orb. Yes, they have been hired.
Hired.
I am not certain whose face I see, but I believe them to be an elf, a dark elf. I cannot tell. There is a rabbit folk with them. Many others in the room. A dark room. And a cloud of smoke. I am so sorry. I do not know what else I can tell you. I do not have anything more from this vision.
Certainly, no, that's a lot of information. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, Sir Gandry. So when those messages
He's drinking a beer. He's just like, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, big deal. Take your time. I was just wondering when those hawks go out with the letters.
Oh yes, we've
out
seen
with
about
the
12
letters.
or 13 of them. Yes.
Which way do they go?
Oh, they always seem to go north, and when they go north, every 3 or 4 that go north, I see them sometimes instead go east, I believe. Those are the two directions, but mostly north is where they fly. As far as long distance, I couldn't tell you, but north, yes, some east.
Well, I'm not like super good at geography, but I, the Elven Kingdoms in LA are pretty north. I'm not saying that Hawks can go that far, but it's lining up so far for me, everyone. I'm just saying.
Luluaina steps in. I've actually uncovered some information recently. I've been tracking the Rangers. Um, I've gathered enough to confidently say that they last had business in the ports of Yesa and Vlego here in Sagagesa. Yesa and Vlego. The Shisk in the Wishbone Mountains, they gave me good information. Sad, but important information, and I believe I must travel north to each of those cities to find out what I can and what business these rangers had in this city and in those ports. Ideally, I should sail down the Duntara River toward the coast. I'll have to find someone who can charter me a boat and someone to sail it, really, but I suppose that's a problem for a later time. Nonetheless, whatever clues I can find in those ports and down the Duntara need to be uncovered. Maybe that can help you understand the bigger picture. Something bigger is happening. I don't know what it is, but at least as far north as Yesa or Vlego would make sense if that's where those hawks are going. Both are northeast.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Miss Luluaina. Might I ask, when did you learn this, and how long have you been in this port town?
Oh, I've been tracking the rangers, and then I noticed a few days past you started walking this direction. I've been tracking you as well since you were in the mountains with the Shisk, purely because we have similar journeys. I guess I we were. I was listening in on a camp. It seemed like a small group of rangers. Not many were there, but they were talking about Yesa and they were talking about Lego and some of the goods that they purchased from merchants there. It seemed pretty casual, but I figured there had to be a reason that they were in those ports. But yeah, a few days.
Could you clarify where you found these encampments? How close are they to here? Are you, or I suppose Fujaji Miyota, are they aware of our location here currently?
It is difficult to say. One moment, please. She pulls out her orb again. She begins meditating. I am so sorry, I do not know.
I look at Luluaina, who's apparently been to their camp. Any word?
Any word on what? On whether they're following us, me, or
If they've noticed, if
Their
they...
proximity.
Yes.
I would say maybe 3 days away from here by foot.
North, south, east?
Southeast, yes. Higher up in the Kinderon Mountains.
Shigia, you don't have to give her such a hard time. She's been traveling on her own, and she's giving us good information. You're always so on guard with everyone who tries to help.
Don't tell me what to do.
Remy steps in. Lishijia, I think Hannah was just trying to be nice to. Anyway, he kind of sinks back.
Luluina, So you followed our path here. Did you happen to like, I don't know, cover our tracks? Because if it was that easy for you to follow, I worry that
Absolutely.
experienced.
I took great care. I tried to make my track difficult to follow. I made it as strange and winding as possible, and I move quickly on my own, so I hope that helped. I was able to cover maybe more ground than you were, but every time I came across your path, I did try to misdirect it in some other way. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I had me worried there for a minute. Okay, so let's just get all this straight here. So the Wilders of Clarth are connected to Bethar, basically the god of everything bad. There's trouble brewing, okay, and these Wilders are after our sweet boy Remy. We don't know why, but they appear to be hired by a dark elf with a rabbit folk friend, and they might be operating out of the ports of Yesa and Blago. Is that right? Did I get everything?
It seems, as far as what I've been able to uncover, my pieces, yes, do fit into that story.
Okay. Okay. Now, how far away are these ports from our destination? You do remember our destination, right?
The Whispering Marshes, I believe. Correct?
Yep, those are the ones. Yep.
Okay. Lishija hates her right now.
I'm so suspicious. I'm so suspicious. But so Goppa's doing a much better job of being a diplomat than I am.
The Whispering Marshes, it is quite far. If you were to look at a map of Saga Gesa, you would see that the Whispering Marshes are a little bit west, and these cities are farther east. I would need to go over the Kinderon Mountains and hopefully avoid these rangers.
By yourself?
Okay.
I suppose so. I've been doing everything else by myself. Truthfully, I'm struggling. I can never get close enough to learn what I need to know because I am by myself. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a brawler. I'm not someone who could capture them and get information from them as much as I would want to. The more I hear, the more terrified of them I am, and the more I realize I need to get more answers. I guess by myself, but also I don't know if there's nobody I can recruit anyway who I could really trust except for one of you, but you're all on your own journey, and
No.
There's actually Krieg's gotten really good at learning how to tie knot traps.
I think Krieg would be a great choice.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to split up anybody in the group. I mean, we're like a team, right, guys? I mean, we're a unit. we couldn't get rid of Craig. I mean, we're gonna get on a boat, you know.
Yeah, I was looking forward to.
I was just saying, teach her how to make the traps, so then she could separate somebody from the group.
Yeah, there's
especially those darn animals.
Old
Or
proverb
you
from
could just do what I do and just tackle them and grab them and drag them away. That's the easier solution. But you've got more of a dancer's figure than like.
Then what?
Krieg. Krieg, did you have some wisdom to share?
I did. Yeah. Ancient sailor wisdom. You teach a person. You make someone a trap one day, they trap one meal. You teach a person to trap, they'll eat meals forever.
And there you have it.
I appreciate that wisdom. I'm not sure and she looks at her physique and like her muscles, and she's like, I'm not sure that I could be taught to capture a wilder.
Oh, I meant the snares. I could teach you to make a snare. And
Oh,
you can, you don't need to be very
I
strong.
understand. I'm so
No.
sorry.
No, even
I suppose
Nishija could tie a
just,
snare.
I'm just stressed. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Also,
happy
is
to
this a
help.
merfolk? Hello. And she holds out her hand to shake it. And they introduce themselves.
Something about religions and rangers or something. But you just need somebody. You know what? I know there's somebody here. Somebody who's been needing something new. Sir Gandry, are you just tired of being in your cave?
God damn it.
That's a good idea.
You're a sailor of legend. Of course, you have to be
And
tired. Good.
A good fighter.
Yep.
And you already know about the hawks and the different messages they've been passing to one another. You'd be a great asset.
And you've been up and down the mountains of the Kinderon. You would be the most knowledgeable person that she could have.
And you're kind of intimidating and scary, not like in a bad way. I just, you're really tall. And I think that, that's a good fit.
Well, you make an excellent set of points that I will highly consider.
Are you drunk?
Never. Yes, I am quite inebriated.
I've just been fucking pounding beers in the background.
He puts his drink down and says, in seriousness, friend, Saga Gesa, which Southern Coven woman, I'm not sure. What is your name? Oh, Luluaina. Luluina. Yes, I would accompany you. I feel that would be appropriate if the stakes were high enough, but I'm just not sure right now. Excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words.
I don't think you're seeing this for the opportunity as it is. Luluaina is not only gorgeous, she's intelligent, she's a witch, and I would give my left arm to go on this journey with her. But
Well, then be my guest.
no, I can't do that. I'm here. I'm with Remy. I'm with everyone here, and I'm really concerned what would happen to him if I left, and I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, we cannot get rid of Hannah. If we do, I'll have to buy a shield, and my build isn't set up that way.
We would not have nearly the same height average if she left. So I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen.
I'd have to sleep alone, and I hate that now.
Really warm cuddles.
Right?
I wouldn't have anybody to take the dead flowers off of my hat.
Those were dead flowers? I thought I gave Chloe the nice ones.
I mean, they're all nice ones, okay? What's wrong with dead flowers?
Yeah, we love the dead as much as we love the living.
Thank you.
No. I'm just saying, generally, most
That
people-
was so Minnesota.
I'm sorry, Saga. I didn't mean to offend. That's the only thing I'm talented about here. Hi.
Well, don't apologize to me. You're just gonna have to realize that all flowers are created equal, dead or alive. That's all I ask.
Whether they're alive or dead or brought back from the dead.
Yes, exactly.
Right, Remy?
I'd love to learn to bring a flower back to life. That would be really cool. Is that a thing I could do? Can you teach me to do that, Sagafa?
I can't. Oh.
I think we could work on it. You know what? I'd love to. Maybe we can collaborate. You've got the positive energy. I've got the negative energy. If anybody could make it work.
Well, we're having fun here. Could we please? This is a lot of information. We were hoping to set sail towards Calafia.
Ecolofia, yes. If that's where you're trying to go, it's bound to be a busy city full of people and opportunities, I'm sure. Oh, maybe you don't want people if you're trying to run from. Excuse me. If you're
Would you
trying.
like to sit? Would you like to sit down, Sir Gandry?
Oh,
You-
yes,
you-
thank you. Yeah, I'll take a
I'm-
seat.
I'm not. I'm standing here, not there. Here.
Take your. I don't understand.
Take care, Sir Gandry. Is there any within your retinue who would be willing to assist us in light of all of the information we've learned? Do you need more time to perhaps gather folks?
And he walks over to the door. Around here.
Symbols.
Over to the entrance, and he sticks his head out the door, and he shouts down the cave, and he says, wait, hang on, what's the name? Oh gosh, what is the name? Alright, I'm coming up with a new name.
Ooh.
Somebody give me a name.
Is it a male or a female?
Jason.
Any. Jason! He puts his head out of the,
So fantasy.
he puts his name out of the door and yells, Jason! And a cat folk who is quite little and nimble runs down the cave and kind of, yes, Sir Gandry, what can I do for you, Sir Gandry? What do you need help with? And he says, assemble the crew of the Bonito.
Bonito.
Excuse me, the Bonito. And, we have someone to help. But sir, are we not supposed to be, are we not supposed to be hiding? You know? And he turns around. And he puts his drink down and he says, no, he keeps his drink in his hand and he says,
Lishija mage hands the drink out of his hand.
and as you do that, he lets go of the drink and you catch the drink. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Nonetheless, he thinks he's making the drink fly. Nonetheless, it's time that the crew of the Bonito puts the past behind her. We have something important to do. And he walks over, kind of stumbles over to Fumaji Nyota and says, Fumaji Nyota, would you join us? Would you watch the rivers as we sail up the river? And she says, oh, of course, my friend. I would at least be happy to give you an eye here and there when you are sailing your ship. But are you sure this is the right decision to make in this state? And he picks up the drink from wherever you put it. Maybe it's in the air, and he pulls on it.
I don't let him have it. I click on it and then I mage it behind me.
Interesting. Let's go of it. I will sleep on it, but as of now, the crew of the Bonito is leaving to help all of you. Now, Luluaina. And she looks at him and says, yes, well, I'm afraid my journey's different from yours. I wish I could join you, but I have somewhere else to be, and I need to investigate Yesa and Flago. Luluaina. Any of my crew, I'm sure, would be trustworthy. They could join you. should you need the help. And she kind of gives one of, I don't. Let's sleep on it. And I'd like to fast forward things a little bit. We get into nighttime. Luluaina approaches the group and pulls Hannah aside.
Hi. Hi.
Earl?
Hannah,
No, I feel the same way.
I'm flattered. Thank you. I actually wanted to talk to you about something else. I really have been stressed with this mission, and
No, that's what I'm talking about too. Like, you're basically the front lines against the Rangers, right? And you have no support.
I don't know if I would say the front lines, but I'm a spy of sorts. And Jenna, you would know this. I'm a spy of sorts for the witches of the Southern Coven. I'm trying to learn what I can about these rangers, and I can't do it on my own. You have a skill set that would complement mine. I hate to ask you to leave, but if the rest of this crew is joining the others, do you think you would join me as well? Or would you travel with me, and we could complement each other, hopefully?
I mean, I don't know. I need to talk to someone first.
I understand. I understand if you say no, if this doesn't work. I understand. I have what I suppose I have what I need. I just could use more support, like you said. I'll let you speak to whoever you need to speak.
I'm perfectly honest, head over heels. I would do anything to support you. There's somebody really important I need to talk to first, and I need to get their permission before I do anything else.
I understand, and she'll let you do your thing at this point.
All right, I'm gonna walk back to the group, and I'm gonna walk over to one person in particular, and I'm gonna kneel down in front of Remy. Hey there, buddy.
Hey, how you doing, Hannah? It's good to see you. It's pretty late. What are you doing? What are you up to?
You're growing up big and strong, right?
That's the idea, right? And he looks over at Eska and... I'm sorry, could you say that again?
You're gonna be the best witch, right? And Lishigia said she's gonna be in charge of like your moral upbringing, and Greg's gonna be there to teach you how to do knots and stuff. And I just
And Sagafa with the flowers, and Shaija with teaching me to make herbs, and yeah, and I mean you've taught me kind of how to fight a little bit too.
There's some pretty scary people after you, right? There's big scary people, and when we leave you in the Whispering Marshes at the school, I'm not gonna be able to be there to protect you, unless do you think I'm secretly a witch?
I mean, you've got the bones that you throw, but I think that's more of like the mermaids thing. So maybe you're not just a witch. Maybe you're something like a. I think she used oracle is the word. I don't know.
Just double checking. I didn't think so either. I was just brainstorm, you know. But I feel like I can protect you from immediate dangers, but while that's happening, the bigger bads are getting bigger and badder, and we don't know enough about him. And I know I'm not that smart, but you know Luluaina, yeah?
Oh yeah, I mean she visited from the Southern Coven every now and then over on the coast. I mean she would come down and yeah, I mean
Well, she's been working this whole time to try to get information to keep you safe, and
yeah.
she asked for my help.
Oh my
And
gosh, that's so cool. She's like really well known. Like this the coastal cities like really. What did she ask for?
she asked for me to go with her.
Oh.
And I promised you I'd get you safely to the Spring Marshes, and I don't go back on my word. And I know if I get you to the Whispering Marshes, that's it. And there's still going to be these rangers out there, and nobody's going to be able to, like, she's apparently, she can't get the information she needs. And I want you to be safe. Like, I think of you like a little brother, like one that's actually nice to me, though.
And he
And
stops you by giving you a big hug. Or at least he gives you a big hug, and then he steps back and just says, "Hey, Hannah, wait a sec, hang on. I don't want you to go. I mean, you're really cool and you're really strong and like
but
you're a good fighter, but
if
also
nobody goes, then I'm worried for you.
right. I appreciate that. Okay, so hear me out. I feel like if you go there, you're still kind of getting me to the Whispering Marshes, right? Because, like, the Whispering Marshes is where I need to end up, and who knows? I mean, maybe these rangers will stop us if you don't go. I mean, I can't say that you shouldn't. I want you to go, but like, or like be with us. But I mean, if you think it's better that you go with her, then you should.
I do, but my votes are negative, so I don't think I can on my own brain. I just I wanted to ask you first.
Well, good thing that I have an intelligence score of +2, which gives me 2 votes. So, you can have both of my votes. And I say you should go. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I guess I need to talk to everyone else. You sleep well, okay? And if Lucidia doesn't teach you how to kill a man, I'll come by and I'll teach you later, okay?
Um.
Good
Okay.
talk, buddy.
Thanks, Anna.
Sweet dreams.
Um. And he kind of rolls up into his bedroll with Eska, who just kind of sits on top of his lap. Um. And yeah, where are we all at? What does Hannah do next? Also, if I could, um, what has everybody been up to at bedtime, nighttime? I'd like to check in with everybody just to kind of see where we're all at. Shaija, what have you been doing?
Shaija has just been going through her wares of the various herbs that she has. She's actually making some tea, trying and caffeinating it so that she can stay up a little bit. She is a little bit wary. But she's just been kind of internalizing a lot of this. She hasn't really been talking much to the people around her because she is learning so much about the world and everything that's going on.
Eska kind of gets up off of Remy's lap when he sees you making tea and like bloop 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 floats over to you. Kind of like a spore in the wind, just kind of floating over and looks at your tea inquisitively, is very curious, kind of like sticks its paw in your tea a little bit. Claw, I guess.
I push one of the cups over to him to let him have as much as he wants.
And he kind of does one of those things that cats do when they do like the little butt wiggles, but like over the tea, and then gives a little lick, and then turns over on his side and like rolls in the grass, and then gets back up and gives it another lick, and like turns over, rolls in the grass a little bit, and then cuddles up to you for a bit.
Sounds good. Hopefully Remy won't be upset when you're up all night.
What, Eska, where'd you... Eska! What is Sagafa up to?
Is Fumajinyota still hanging out in the pool, or did she run off to her merfolk duties?
She is kind of in and out. She'll leave for a bit, come back for a bit, spend time talking with Gandry, and she'll bring him some herbs now and then that she's collected to kind of ask him to chew on things, so that he is hopefully a little bit less drunk or a little bit less hungover in the morning. Yeah.
Okay, then I think while she's present, Sogafa is trying to learn everything she can about merfolk, and hopes. I mean, you know, it's saltwater versus freshwater, like all the intricacies of merfolk and how they live their lives. So she's probably super annoying, but when she's gone, she's definitely plucking flowers out of her hat and testing out like touch of undeath and false life and seeing what can happen there as far as bringing flowers back to life, because now she's a little bit obsessed with solving this problem for Remy.
That's cool. I think Fumajiniota kind of watches you as you do this and just will ask a couple questions here and there. What are you doing with those flowers?
Well, you see, I'm killing them, and then I'm trying to see if I can unkill them. You know, so that because we were talking about dead flowers and live flowers, and you know, I know dead flowers aren't as pretty as live flowers, so I want to see if we can bring them back to life, because Remy asked if we could do that, and I just want to know if I can.
Why is it that you wear a mask?
Oh, well,
I'm just kidding, I already know. I'm so sorry.
Oh, thanks for not making me say it. Actually, I've noticed some of these cat folk have, like, fangs. Do you think people over here are okay with fangs, or
my.
with just specific fangs, or because it gets kind of hot?
Could you remind me your name, please?
I'm just Sogafa.
Sogafa, young Sogafa. Where you are from may not be as warm to people who are different than Sagagesa. Sagagesa is a wonderful, diverse place. Everyone is welcome so long as they are welcome to everyone else. Welcoming to everyone else.
Remy said something like that, but it's just kind of scary, to just be all of yourself, and when it's not turned out so great. I mean, I don't have cool like chitin arms like you, but people don't like vampires, so
she takes your hand.
I get it.
She holds her hand out and kind of gestures for you to hold her hand. And she puts one hand over yours and says, "Young Sogafa, please, be yourself as much as you can." And then she'll disappear back into the water.
Bye.
What about
Okay,
Lishi?
I think I'm gonna nervously pull down, just nervously, slowly start to pull down the mask, just a little bit at a time. hoping no one really notices.
Cool. What about Lucidia? What is she doing?
While Hannah is away, I think after Sogafa is done with her thing, I go and find you, and then I I say I want to speak to you, and then I launch into a rant, and I am pacing in front of you, and I say, you know, with all of her ability, it's so strange that she didn't come and find us. That with all of her strength, with all of her knowledge, and all of her resources, that apparently we're not even strong enough to be able to track Remy on our own. And yet she decides to come out of the blue and point all of this out to us and then do nothing. It's unfair, simply.
Are we talking about Fumajiniota or Luluaina?
Luluaina.
Oh, okay, yeah. You said out of the blue. I was a little confused for a moment. You know, I think she's got her mission. We've got our mission. It'd be cool if she was like, a little more connected. But we didn't really reach out to her either.
Were you aware that she was traveling alongside us? Or parallel to us, rather?
I was just under the impression that she was gathering information. Honestly, I kind of forgot about her, and I feel kind of bad about that.
If I could, I don't want to interrupt, but I do want to make something clear. Luluaina was, when you left Bungai, she had also said that she was leaving. You saw her get ready in this cloak, and she mentioned that she was going to try and find some answers. That's about as much as you know. I think it would have been implied that she was traveling in a similar direction to you, but probably not implied necessarily that she was close enough to track you.
Yeah, I mean, are you worried about her?
Of course not. Why would I be?
Because you're worried about everything all the time?
What do you think of her, Sogafa?
I mean, I liked her better when she was in that flower dress. But she doesn't seem bad. She seems like I am. You know how I feel about witches. I mean, you're cool, but I know that because we've been hanging out for like I don't know, a week or so now. I don't know how long it's been, but we've been hanging out. So I trust you, and other witches I still have kind of a hard time with. But I'm working on that. It's a character flaw. So I'm trying to be better about it, and I don't want to just distrust everybody. I think your stress about it is healthy. One of us has to be worried, I just think, assuming the worst maybe is not necessarily healthy.
Are you concerned she could have been the spy for a double crosser of some sort?
I hadn't really thought about it. But what do you think she's working with the Wilders or Bethar? Do you think? Oh my God! Do you think she's a witch of Bethar?
She doesn't seem like a witch of Bethar.
She emerges from the cave. I'm assuming we're all kind of in the area around the... Are we inside the cave in the same place where you all...
I'm trying to go into a corner and talk about this, but it's a cave, so someone might have heard me.
She walks in and says, I'm so sorry. I'm not a witch of Bethar. I can understand your distrust. You just met me before this whole attack on Bungai. I can understand if you're not enthusiastic about me as an ally. I assure you, I am not a witch of Bethar. I am not working with the Wilders that you've mentioned, that we've seen, that I've been tracking. I want the safety of this young boy. He's part of my coven. I would do anything to protect a sister or a brother in my coven. And
So
she...
are we both doing perception checks on this? Or?
Absolutely, if you would like to.
Gosh, it's only a 13 for me.
12 for me.
Okay. Is anybody else doing that as well?
Is anybody else nearby?
No.
Fair. So I think you, as far as you can tell, I mean, she is being truthful. It's hard to really pinpoint it. I mean, she could be a really good liar. But it's also, I mean, it seems like she's telling the truth, and her motivations match up with her backstory, or at least what she's telling you about her motivations.
Would it be a separate check for me to tune in on how much she loves Remy?
I like that a lot. Yeah, give me another perception check against the will DC. Or, yeah, I think that's what that is.
Oh,
Ah, the same one. Oh, 16?
16 higher.
16. She cares deeply for anyone in her coven. When she says, I would do anything to protect a sister or a brother in my coven, I mean, she deeply means that. Like, she really does care for her fellow witches. And Lishiji, that might actually be kind of a foreign idea for you. I'm not sure. I don't want to go too much into your character, but like, I would imagine the human kingdoms and the witches that belong there are much less community oriented than they are down here in Sakagesa.
Yeah, there's no witch covens where in the inner kingdom where she is from. But I think she does recognize that this woman does genuinely like Remy a lot. And I think seeing that makes Lee Shijia both very jealous and very sad because she misses her parents a lot. All right.
I'm sorry if that was insulting to you at all. We didn't, well, I won't speak for her, but I know that we didn't necessarily mean to cast suspicion. We all care about Remy, and in order to best protect him, we have to consider the folks he's around. So I'm genuinely sorry. I do believe that you mean the best. And also, I appreciate your work because you're very sneaky.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for any offense I may have caused.
I am sorry for any tension that I have created. I trust you with Remy. You stepped in and helped him. Thank you.
I think I'll step out now. I believe I'm finished here.
What is Krieg up to?
He's very keen on that swimming hole. So he's unless I've been playing in my getting my mouth around the name the mer lady.
Majin
Fajin
Fumaji.
Fuma.
Yota. He'll like scamper over, and if she's still around, he'll ask for permission. But if she's already left,
I think at some point you probably catch her, and she says, Are you interested in... Would you like to join me? I'm going to swim for a bit.
I really would. Really would.
I'm sorry, that's not her voice. Would you like to join me? I am
Very
going to
much.
swim for a bit.
Very much so. Yep, I would. I can hold my breath a fair bit. I don't know how far down it goes. I don't know if your orb tells you, but I can't actually breathe underwater. But I'd love to swim a little bit. Curious how far down this goes.
And she'll, well, follow me. And she said, I will look out for you. She'll kind of grab your hand, welcome you into the pool, and then she'll swim downward, every now and then checking behind you. It's a rock tunnel. Like, it's very much just made of rock. There, as you swim down a little bit more, she turns to you and she says, "The current is strong here. You must be careful. Take my hand if you prefer." And as you leave the tunnel, you wind up in a small, like, fast-moving, not a stream, more than a stream. It's like it's a moving body of water. I wouldn't really call it a river. It's not quite. Sure, we'll call it a river. It's a river. And you work your way into this river, and she kind of guides you up a little bit. And it's underwater. I mean, it's like that.
Is it like in Finding Nemo when they get in the currents?
Just like that.
Nailed it.
You.
It's really not too much different than you might have expected. This is one waterway that takes you to the river, and you would think that there are more similar waterways upstream or downstream.
Okay. Yeah, and he'll swim on his own for a bit, but then feeling the current and in a still a foreign place, he will reach out and grab her hand and swim alongside.
Yeah, and every now and then you can kind of, once you're in the river, you can pop up for air, and then you can swim a little bit longer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think she'll every now and then just kind of show you things that she likes about underwater that's beautiful to her. Some plants that are kind of sitting atop the water, or
If there are any flowering plants, Craig would like to harvest them and
yeah.
tuck them into his little, like, underneath the Akata cape to, like, try and, like, preserve them as best as possible. But he will ask, when we got here, the local the visitors to the fishing village said that there was a severe lack of fish. This would happen to be a concern of yours?
Well, the fish have declined recently. I do not know why, but they have stopped coming to the lake more than, or as much as they used to. I wish I could give you a good answer.
I took it upon myself to offer to help. So it's kind of like if the main thing is the world-ending stuff, my personal curiosity is a lack of fish. I mean, if fish aren't doing well, that means those that feed on them aren't doing well, which means wildlife in the area could prove troublesome for the local towns, cities, villages. I mean, I know there's other stuff to eat, but like fish is fun, fish is good, fish is plentiful.
She, in large part, she agrees with you. She echoes your sentiments, and she mentions that she would be interested in further investigating this, kind of as you travel with Sir Gandry. Yeah.
And if she doesn't offer any insights or anything, I don't think Craig is suspicious of her in any way, so I'm not going to bother with any perception. He's just going to enjoy and delight in the not weird, the strange to him scenery, and swim is about as late as he can handle it before he's got to get back to camp or get back, and he's still going to take first watch, so I don't know how long he'll be away, but
Okay. Yeah. I think she appreciates your interest in this, and she's very upfront about that. She is interested in, like, she wants to put a pin in this and come back to it.
Sure.
She wants to talk to you about it in the future.
of course, yep. And then yeah, he's happy to go back. I think by then, he kind of was playing when he was swimming in the lake a couple sessions ago, where he missed out on all the actual action, the goings on. But I think this is like the first time in quite a while he's gotten the opportunity to exert himself while swimming. So he's gonna be a tired little kobold by the time he clambers out of the stone tunnel.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
What is Hannah up to now?
I think she's just sort of sitting near the fire, and she's waiting for people to be done with their things. She's just sort of spinning the buckler she always has in her hands, like just over and over, and then putting it onto her chin and thinking about things, and then flipping it over and over, and just waiting until everyone gets back to the campsite and gets ready to go to bed.
I think that that would happen after a few hours of sitting around. You would probably find everybody in the same place, at least at some point, I would think.
So, hi, y'all. It's been a minute. Like, I don't know, how many minutes an hour? 30, so at least 40 minutes. I don't know. I've Okay, so you know when you're dreaming and your loved ones drag you down to the watery depths and you just start struggling and you can't breathe and you just, all the air pours out of your lungs and you wake up in a cold sweat?
That dream you keep telling us about, yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a normal dream, so I'm not worried about it. But it's been getting worse, and Remy's started to be there, and I'm worried about him. And
he's the one drowning you?
no, God, he's got little stick arms. How can he drown me?
Snares? I mean, it doesn't take much strength to do a snare, as previously
Yeah, but
stated.
like underwater, like just the way. Never mind. It just he's down at the bottom, and there's always those shadowy figures, and I've been really stressed out recently about like actually being able to help and protect you all. And I think I know what I need to do that.
Do you need a new sword? We could fight you a new sword.
Are your
Still
shoes
need some
holding
new.
up? Go ahead.
It still needs new shoes too. That tar.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it is actually starting to flick off a little.
Yeah, the
but
tar that was placed on your shoes a little while ago is starting to get a little rough on your feet.
Don't worry, I have some aloe for your feet. And she pulls some out of her bag and hands you like a bundle of stuff for your feet.
Thanks. I'll take this on the journey.
Your journey.
Journey.
Yep, yeah, because we're going to the boat and then we're going up north. Of course, yeah, just have it handy. If I'm familiar with aloe, I could probably find some when I'm swimming.
Our journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
used the wrong collective pronoun, Hannah. That's silly.
No, it's.
That's why she's got negative votes.
I mean, that's not the only reason, but Luana, she asked me to help. And I talked to Remy, and he thinks I should go with her.
But she's
I mean,
going to.
She's no.
No, I think she should probably go. And he steps up from his cot or his bedroll.
Your bedtime, Remy. What the heck?
I couldn't sleep. I'm sorry. I just. It seems like she's got maybe a different path. I don't know.
I think it makes quite sense. Lululina is graceful, but Henna is strong, and I saw fear in Lululina's eyes. If we want to make it so that Remy gets to where he needs to go, I don't think that she is enough, and Henna is the strongest amongst us.
That's yeah. There's no doubt of that. I'm just like just boom, meet us back at the Whispering Marshes, right?
I don't know.
I think. I mean, Muaina was saying that those ports were kind of in the other direction. So you're gonna go away from us?
I think that's what she was asking if I could do. She understands if I can't, but like she's trying to stop the Rangers, and I don't think she has the tools to do that. Not on her own. And like they have those like flying bomb things. They have all of these people, and all we've been doing is running. But what happens after we drop Remy off at the Whispering Marshes? Like, how are we going to protect him after? And if they're just over there getting stronger and maybe like bigger flying bomb things and like evil gods, which if gods even exist, I mean,
Is this what you want to do, Hannah?
no.
Is this what you think? I mean, I don't want to stop you from pursuing what you think is best.
I think I'm gonna do a better job protecting Remy, protecting all of you guys, because I can't see people hurt you anymore, and if I know that there's people out there just aiming for you all, I can't just sit here and like I haven't been able to sleep recently because I'm just sitting here thinking, like, we're just not doing anything to stop them, and so they could come at any moment, and we don't have any knowledge, we don't have anything, we're just running from the next point to the next, and you're gonna have an entire crew of battle-ready pirates who are not pirates, I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, Craig, you're the bravest little guy I know, and you have magic breath. Lashigia, you are the most regal, smartest person I've ever met. And you're going to teach him how to murder. And, you know, you're responsible for his moral upbringing. And it's like, Alpha, you are the biggest sweetheart I've ever met. And, Shaija, you literally, we would have died without you. Like, you saved all of our lives, and you're just so learned and so gracious, and even Hem doesn't say a lot, but I like his energy. I don't
He's
know.
like mostly energy, honestly.
What?
I think he's mostly energy. Like all energy. No, you get back to your. Just don't listen to me.
I think that Shaija wants to pull out a. She has multiple cups, and she's gonna pull out some bags of tea and put them like while you're talking, and she's putting them in a leather container for you. And she hands you this tea. This is the same brew that you and I shared after everyone was poisoned, and we sat down by the fire. I want you to take this with you so that you can stay hardy. And here goes some extra antidote in case you encounter anything in the woods. I know that you have some insecurities about yourself, but you are strong and you inspire confidence. You say that Krieg is the most brave that you've ever seen, but he's quite cowardly, actually. And yes, he has gotten braver, but it's because of your strength. I saw you. I listened to you talk to him. You talked him up, and not even a few days later, he stabbed his sword through something. He could barely hold it a few days prior, but since then he's become powerful, and it's through you and your words that inspired all of us.
I mean, not really. It was all in like there before. It's just I don't think you all saw it yet. I don't know. It was pretty obvious to me.
I think Shaija's right though. Hannah is. I mean, you're pretty good at like keeping people together. And like you're a good friend. Yeah. Okay.
You're my favorite little brother. Here, get in here. I'm gonna give him a big hug. You're gonna be safe. You're gonna be the smartest witch at witch school, okay? You're gonna be the best.
Is that a thing? Can I go to witch school? Lucia, can I go to witch school?
It's not what you think, my dear, but
Okay. Sorry, I got excited. And he gets you a hug, Hannah.
I don't actually know what we're doing in the Whispering Marshes, and at this point I'm actually afraid to ask. I've never known. I just sort of got caught up in the moment, and I've been on this journey, and I've just really gotten attached to all of you. Like, oh my god, Sagatha, you have the prettiest hat, and you're just so nice. And I didn't notice this earlier, but you have such a good smile. Like, have I seen that before?
Usually it's dark, so yeah. I don't even worry about it. Hey, I want you to be safe, and I know you'll be worried about us too. So I don't even know what to say. But if you die, and I find out about it, I will figure out this raising things from the dead thing, and I will kill you again. Okay? I can't do that. I can't lose anybody else, and you're not going to be one of them. So you take care of Luaina, and you make sure that she takes care of you too, because you need to be taken care of sometimes too.
Remy,
I won't die. I'd never die. I mean, you're the one who almost died, and besides, didn't you say like you're being offensive against dead people, just like I was with dead flowers?
Nope, I just said that I would raise you from the dead and kill you again. I did not say that was a bad thing.
Okay.
Remy walks over to Lishija. I guess he's pretty close to Lishija. And he just kind of like
I look at him.
Nudges you.
I look at him. So you're going then?
Yes, ma'am.
Li Shijia has gone through all the stages of grief in about 5 minutes. And she twists her fan in my hand, and then she says, "All right then, I have a gift for you."
You have something for me?
I do. May I see your bones?
They're under my skin.
Your magic bones, the ones you mentioned earlier.
Oh, yes. I take out the small sachet and hand it over. Yeah, no, sorry. I thought you could last night, but not. Never mind. You were saying.
She takes the bones from you, and is there like there's like a table nearby, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
This way. She has you sit opposite sides of her, and then as that happens, she looks at Remy and gestures for him to come. And then if anyone else wants to see, they can see as well.
Oh, cool. Are you gonna do magic? And then he like walks over and
I'm definitely coming.
You're gonna teach me magic?
I'll do you one better. I am a fate witch, and my domain involves justice, fairness. For things given unto me, I return to others as best I can. And for your kindness unto me, for returning my things, I grant you 3 questions. They may only be yes or no, but you may ask me anything within those parameters. Is that clear?
Okay.
It can be from the past, the present, or the future. And I will do my best to answer those. I will answer those to the best of my ability.
Person
Go
I'm
on.
searching for is she even still alive?
Let us begin. I take your bones and I sort of like, I do a quick demonstration where it's like, if they land like this means yes. But if they land like this, it means no. If it lands this way, it means the answer is unclear. It does not mean that it's good or bad. It simply means that it's unclear. So I give them to you and I say, I will commune and you will roll them. You see that the same thing happened on the ship where I begin to speak in a language and then my half of my body, not just my clothes this time, but also my skin and my clothes, it's like a shadow is passed over me, and in the shadow is only like skeleton and bones. You also see on Hannah, it's not mirroring, but it's like if my half is here and her other half, you see it also begins to like shadow, skeleton, bone.
It's really pretty.
Ask your question.
Is the person I'm searching for even still alive?
I'm assuming you roll the dice? Or the, you roll the bones?
Yes.
Can you give me an occultism check, Lishigia?
Am I aided?
Yes.
I have a 17 to aid.
Ooh. Let's see. Occultism. Where is it? There we are. Just kidding. 25. Plus 1? 26.
The answer is yes.
You feel a cool wind and hear a whistle. No one else hears it, just you.
Is there a reason?
He's speaking to you. Don't be afraid.
He whistled?
He communicated with you.
Yes, I think.
Is that the answer you wanted to hear?
Yeah, Will she be better off if I even found her?
Do I roll another check?
Yes, please. Was the question, will she be better off if I never found her?
If I even found her.
Will she be better off if I even found her? Yeah, give me occultism. Both of you, Hannah, you can aid.
I only got a 5, so I'm.
I got a nat 20 for a 28.
Amazing. Will she be better off if I even find her? The answer is yes.
Someone is looking out for you, Miss Hannah. One more.
I don't think I can ask it now. When we meet again, please. If I know any more, it's gonna make this decision even harder than it already is. And she's been waiting for 7 years now. I think I can let her wait a little bit longer if it means I can help you all. So, after all this is done, can I ask that last question?
Certainly.
That means you can't die, and, neither can I. Promise, okay? Because we still have unfinished business. And I still need that last question.
Certainly. You have my word.
And Craig,
Yeah, Hannah?
I'm gonna take the buckler off my arm. You said something about needing a shield, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure if this is your size, or I just I'm so gosh darn excited about you. You're such a good fighter, and you're another sailor, and you're my cuddle buddy. I feel like you're gonna need to take up the mantle to protect this room. And
Hey.
you and him, but I'm not. I don't know if I'm talking at this point. I'm afraid to ask, and I don't think can he even hold a shield.
I don't know. We coordinate so well because we can talk, and I don't know if Hen's said 2 words to me. So I guess they're going to have to lead, and I don't know. It's gonna be weird. Your faith in me helps. I'll treasure that always. I was a little unsure of myself, but I think knowing you're out there fighting the fight, we're fighting the same big fight. So it's not like we're parting ways. We're just tactically, you're going one way, I'm going another. That's how I'm going to.
Pincer move. We're doing a pincer move.
Yeah, pincer move. That's what I'll tell myself as I try to fall asleep alone.
I mean, you could probably ask somebody else to cuddle.
I don't. I think I'll need some time before I find someone, but yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. And one of our many plans was using this lot, pointing at or gesturing at the. I don't want to call them deserters and make it seem like I'm being glib, but the group of people who make this their home, we talked about maybe having them draw the attention of the rangers. So it's like we're doing the plan. So that's it's just gonna not be great without you.
Well, here, the big reason I'm giving you the shield is on my ships, you always took a part of the ship before you left for land, and so you could put it back when you came back. And so I'm just having you hold on to this.
Oh, okay. Can I give you something?
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot though. So what I will do is
Ooh, actually, I have a marble too. Like,
You can't give me two things if I don't have one to give you. Now I'm gonna
well,
feel even worse.
okay, well then give me the shield, and I'll just give you the marble.
What's the marble do?
Uh, I don't know. When I wish for something really, really hard, I know where it is.
Ooh. Mm, I'd rather the buckler than the magic ball.
Your loss. I'm gonna hand the buckler back then.
Okay. Take this. He's gonna dig out his grappling bolt. This is what I used in our first fight together. The jaguars and the
Oh,
one where I almost died. But I haven't been. Oh, wait, how's that sentence go? I've gotten so much stronger since then. Have a token from our first fight, and I could. We could swap back. You could take your buckler back when I see you again, and I could take the grappling bolt back.
all right. I'll make sure to put good use to this. I have a free hand now, so maybe I don't know. I could.
Yeah, I hope you choke out those uh, demon people real good. And you're so good at drawing the attention away. I suspect you're going to be vital to us getting Remy to the witch school, and we'll figure out his thing along the way.
Okay.
I promise.
You know, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I'm not sure Luchidi is up for the whole like murder thing or like the. So, if it comes down to it, I want you to take that responsibility for.
I'm looking forward to it. Yep. I don't think she's got. I don't know if she has the bloodlust in her. I don't know, but definitely, I will show him how to make merciful kills. I'll show him how to toy with an opponent so they think that they have the upper hand. We'll make.
What are you doing to my boy?
I'll at least show him. Free will's a thing. We believe in free will here. So, if he doesn't want that to be his style, if he wants his thing to be just a boy witch, it's his life. But I'll do my best to show him in words and in deed how to kill a man just for you.
Don't worry, I think you already do that. Bring it in, buddy.
And he leaps into Hannah's arms, like not like bridal leap, but like cannonball glomp, I think is the technical term.
All right. Well, she's giving you a big hug. She's gonna look at the rest of the group and just like scoop them up in her arms and just like get everyone in there.
I was midway through dismissing the rest of this seance, and as soon as I'm done, I'm like,
And as you dismiss this seance, as you've communed with Kexen, and you've had two of your questions answered, or two of Hannah's questions answered, the bones kind of rattle in place just before you pick them up, as if there's something left, a stone left unturned. And I think, Lishigia, you would recognize this as these bones will remember that there is a question yet to be answered. And as you pack them up, do you want to add something? Go ahead.
oh yeah. I noticed this and I'm like, ooh, I don't touch them. I mage hand back into the bag. And then when it dismisses, it's kind of like when you blow smoke away, it sort of like dissipates
Yeah.
the shadows. And I mage hand the bag back onto Hannah so she still has it.
Okay. And if I may fast forward things a little bit, as the night progresses, you're able to have one more night together as a party, as a group. As the morning comes, Luluaina and Hannah, you say your final goodbyes, and Luluaina walks toward the Kinderon Mountains, and Hannah, I would assume that you follow?
I'm I'm gonna stare back for a long minute. I think I'd probably leave as early as possible
Okay.
and just like leave them all a little very poorly carved like rock thing like of each of them and like leave it near their bedroll and before I head out because I don't think Hannah would be able to do another set of goodbyes and she's never really been good at them. So bye.
And as Hannah walks toward the Kinderon Mountains with the Luaina, an albatross circles overhead, diving down into the jungle, coming back up. You'd probably see the albatross would be the last thing that you noticed, even as Hannah and Leluaina are drifting off into the jungle and are no longer visible. The albatross still flies overhead. And the rest of you, as you turn and get things packed up and ready to go, you see Sir Gandry standing on the deck of the Bonito, and he raises his fist in the air and shouts, "And the Bonito sails again!" And everybody bursts into cheer, and the... What's up, Lishigia?
I can't believe he said that out loud.
And I think that's where we'll call session for tonight. You had a roll, though. What was your roll?
How
Oh,
well her statues were crafted.
Got it.
I actually got a 13 on my crafting, which is great because I have a -1. So
Cool.
Ooh,
Wow.
They look
solid.
like an art student who is
So
very
cute.
new has created them.
And so Gaffa will never ever put it down.
Thank you so much. Gwen, thank you for being part of our story. I hope you'll be able to come back in the future for an episode here and there. If not, no worries, but we hope you'll be back at some point to bring Hannah back for a moment. Thank you.
Gwen, we love you.
You're great. Thank you so much.
We will miss you. To all of our players, thank you so much. To all of our viewers, thank you so much. We appreciate you watching and staying tuned. We've had pretty consistent viewership throughout, and I super appreciate that. We will be back next Monday, not tomorrow, but the following week, and we are going to continue as the Bonito sets sail. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.